Good morning and welcome to another Star of the Month episode. So I'll give a brief of what we do here. I'm so excited for today and the guests we have today as well. Before that, thank you for all of us who are watching us live. I think there are about 25 people watching us live on LinkedIn. So yay, that's a huge number. Please say hi, hello, good morning. Please keep us engaged so that we know someone is watching. I'll give a brief of what we do here. So I have a community called Jobsearch Like a Boss, JLB for short. So what we do there is we create a community for job seekers and try to make job search more fun. I know job search is frustrating and there's nothing positive adding to it. So it's very important that we celebrate the wins and have a direction and focused approach towards job search. So that's what we do in that. So to reward the participants, every month we do a vote as in who inspired the participants most. And for today's episode is for the start of the month of September, but we had a slight delay on organizing this session. So that's why we are doing it today. And I'm happy to announce that the start of the month for September is Ankit Sobti, was or is, whatever, Ankit Sobti. I've known Ankit for a long time. In the pre-COVID times, actually, we are one of those persons who have met in person and had a lot of fun. And Ankit has been inspiring our community in I can't even say put in words that we have been very inspired by Ankit's work. He's a data analyst by profession and is looking for work after his last role. So that's about Ankit Sobti. And the interviewer is a recruiter from Precision Source Australia. His name is Joel Stein. He has been in the industry for about 10 years, and he'll be interviewing Ankit today. To get a feel of what his profile is like. It's just a stage for Ankit to showcase his skills. So if you're a recruiter or if you know any data analyst roles, please reach out to Ankit and try to help him out. So let's get into the interview side of things, and let's welcome Joel and Ankit to the show. Hi Ankit, hi Joel.
Hey Vinesh, how are you?
All right, so I've given you an introduction. So Joel and Ankit, the show is yours.
Fantastic. Well, Ankit, good to sit down with you today. I'm looking forward to going through a few bits about your experience and I guess what you've delivered previously and what you're looking for in a new role. Shouldn't take more than around 25 minutes, but yeah, keen to get into it and find out a little bit more about yourself. So I was hoping you could kick off today's discussion, just giving us a brief overview of yourself and your background, who you are, what you're interested in, just a very top level view, first of all, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So first of all, thank you, Vinesh, for inviting me and giving me this platform to do a LinkedIn live session with Joel. And Joel, thank you so much for coming. So about my introduction, I'm Ankit. I'm basically from India. Currently, I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. I have a background in sports business and computer applications. And I've worked as a data analyst on sports data, high performance data, banking and financial and insurance data sets as well. My key skills are basically in some of the projects I worked as a project management, stakeholder management, worked on some of the data analysis and BI tools such as SQL, Excel, and Tableau, and also developed data visualization and reporting during the job course as well. Some of the key achievements in my recent projects was providing product performance dashboard for the AFL community clubs by doing data preparation, data extraction, data cleaning, and then providing analysis of some of the key performance indicators such as how does committee structure or grants, finance, digital membership and sponsorship work for the community clubs, and how to enhance that. Also, I was very lucky, fortunate to be involved with St. Kilda Junior Academy in providing a data analytics platform to track 600 junior academy players as well as coaches, and then helping them in player recruitment. I'm looking forward for roles in in companies which have huge data sets, and looking forward for consulting in data analytics or reporting for their commercial benefits.
Fantastic. That's a great overview. Thanks very much, Ankit. So let's dig into some specifics there around what you said. And the first thing I'd like to dig into is your previous role with TD Solutions. You obviously mentioned a little bit about what you were doing there, but could you just dive into a little bit more depth around one or two projects that you worked on with them and what you actually delivered in terms of business value?
Okay, so TD Solutions is basically a company started with an objective to help the community clubs across Australia. And when I say community clubs, it includes all sports: cricket, netball, football, soccer, uh, every so. And community club is also known as the backbone. So one of when they started collecting huge data from individual clubs, and they used to provide and deliver individual customized solution for each of the club. Now moving on, there was a big concern how to talk to the leagues or how to showcase as an aggregate level how, what is the overall performance of clubs in Australia. So individually they are talking to stakeholders, but how to bring them together on one single platform. So that was a big challenge. So that is where I added value using my data skills. I extracted data from their platform, worked with the CEO of the company, who is also a former club CEO of St Kilda Football Club and CEO of Hawthorn Hawks. And he told me that capital grants, finance, membership, sponsorship, we have to consolidate all the data and present it how they are uh, working in different divisions. So also community clubs have division 1, division 2, junior leagues and senior leagues. And once I consolidated, I used my Tableau skills as well to showcase a performance dashboard. And what I found using my statistical knowledge, I presented on the dashboard. If I can just share a quick, I actually used it. Yeah. So this was a quick, I would say, an result outcome of the project, in which we showcase that overall performance of the club. Yeah, this is the overall. And overall performance is basically consolidating all the KPIs, which is committee structure, governance, finance, membership, capital grants. And the reason it is showing red is we categorized into, like, if the club score, if the overall score is between 0 to 60, it will be red. Beyond 60 and less than 80, it will be amber, and then above 80, it is green, which means if the club is not performing goods in terms of revenue, sponsorship, membership, have less revenue generating across the year, so it means it's a critical to focus on that area. And what we found was that membership is one of the biggest concerns for majority of the community clubs. We were also able to identify the challenges and opportunities, and this was challenges and opportunity. The club had provided the challenges and also the opportunities that they were, since the membership was very very low, how could we provide them modern tools to enhance their membership. We also showed the financial summary. So this project actually helped in taking this, sharing with the leagues, and telling them this is how the clubs are performing. This is the median or the average turnover of the club for the different divisions. I won't go much into detail here, but just wanted to give you an overview. So this actually uh, helped the leagues to analyze the club health in real time environment, and also see the satisfaction ratio of the grants and building the community clubs.
Fantastic. It's really good that you've been able to actually show us the visualization there as well. So that helps to actually understand how that would have benefited the clubs as such. So you mentioned there around the actual visualization that you did as well, choosing different colors. I'd be interested to know what your thought process was around the layout that you chose on the visualization, why you chose the color schemes that you did. Because obviously it's all very well delivering a report to someone, but the whole idea of these Tableau reports is to be able to give a really quick snapshot to someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of time. So what was your thought process, and what is your general thought process around how you design a dashboard?
Yeah, so to share that, I'll just quickly go through the dashboard again. So first, when you mentioned about the color layout, yes, it is important. That color layout is very, very important in presenting a story. And there is a section in Tableau where we can use uh, 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 the colors that which is easily like differentiating for all the stakeholders. So like red, whenever we see like it's like the signal lights, which it's easily readable. Okay, red light, you have to stop. So red light for critical. Amber, okay, this is okay, this is doing good. And then green ones would be better. I think if I have to show a performance here. So this was important in selecting to show, okay, in analyzing an overview, okay, the color selection. Also the layout I wanted to present was I wanted to put the main important KPIs at the top of the dashboard, and giving a whole story. So overall performance we wanted to share at the start of the chart. Okay, this is the overall performance. If it is red, then yes, you need to focus that there is some concern area, and then they would want to know why it is this red, what is this overall. So they will just go to the next dashboard, which is a health check, which is related. And the story, and the stakeholders at a high level also want to see financial summary. So that is the reason, after showcasing overall, we wanted to show the important KPIs as well as the financial summary on the dashboard. The second, in terms of sharing the layout, we wanted to show them, like this was after discussion with the stakeholders, that they were concerned about financial summary, how they are, like what are the how turnover is getting affected for each of the particular divisions. So we created a different layout only for financial analysis for the key revenue streams, and we took only 5 KPIs, which in terms of stakeholder, these were the important: turnover, membership, sponsorship, fundraising, 5-year capital grant. And then the color division, if you see, it could be small, but I'll read it out for you. Red is for division 1, blue is for division 2, amber is for division 3, and green is for division 4. And if you see in the middle numbers, this is the total. So if I select the membership, you will see the numbers changing in between. So it's changing now.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is how it is changing. And also in the last bottom chart, you will see how each of the division is performing. So this was also important in terms of layout, understanding the average. If I just if you see, the average, it comes out near to be $20,000. But if I select division 1 or red here, you will see the average increases to roughly 25,000. So it gives an overview in the easy to like play around, that how division 1 uh, stands in comparison to division 4, which is like 15,000. So there's a huge gap. So this is the layout that I chose uh, to help
Great.
them understand the data.
Perfect. Thanks for going through that. So I'm gathering a passion for data, but also a big passion for sport as well. Is that the reason that you moved towards that industry?
Yes, that was one of my interest areas as well. At the moment, I don't have something to show you, but yes, there is a Champions League football data I'm doing as part of my hobby. But I did work in high performance data, in which testing an app, which I actually record players doing skills in June footy. And then based on the biomechanics, I create a report about their leg motion, ankle motion, and then before kicking, during the kick, and a follow up through as well.
Great.
So yeah,
Perfect.
that was a big passion as well that I'm working on.
Great. A lot of people within the data industry say data's data, no matter across which industry that you work within. But would you suggest that the fact that you've had that passion for the data that you've been working on, that's helped you go above and beyond, would you say?
Yes, definitely. Like a domain experience is definitely important, but if we have passion, and I would use the word curious here as well. Like when I worked with my coach, I got more curious, more learning, and I wanted to develop more. Develop more passion. So that also helped me in
Mm,
this.
fantastic. So based on that, what are your main drivers for your next role? What's going to be important for you when selecting a new position?
Uh, So I'm basically open for working in a preference is obviously sports because that is close to my heart and I love working in want to work in sports industry. However, because my core skills are data skills, so I'm looking forward to working in startups or large corporation who have huge data sets and who
Mm,
are looking after consulting for their commercial benefit using analytics. So I'll give you a small example.
mm,
Currently, I'm doing analytics work with Project Displaced as well, which is not from sports industry, but this company was recently founded uh, in the month of April during COVID to help the job seekers. So I just wanted to give back to the community as well using my analytics skills. So using so they had a challenge. They wanted to research upon how the lockdown is impacting the job seekers, what are the top industries impacted during COVID times, uh,
sure.
and and also what are the major challenges and goals. So even though I had an interest in uh, sports data, I started working with them and have presented a solution as well, in which the services have been increased to 100% in last 2 months, as well as we found through analysis that there was a direct correlation between the lockdown and the services demand of services for career services by the user. So I'm open to all industries.
Okay, great. That really helps. So I'd be interested to hear as well, since you finished up with your last role, how you've generally been finding the market. Obviously, we're living in a bit of a strange time at the moment, especially there down in Melbourne, a bit different for us here in Sydney. So how have you been finding the market in terms of looking for a role, and where have you been getting up to in terms of interviews as such?
The good news is that Melbourne has also opened up in last few weeks, and probably I think yeah last week there was a rule as well, 25-kilometer area, like we can't go beyond. And I think in coming weeks that will sorry, in last week also that is also like invalid
Great.
now. We can move. So that is a good news, and I was not getting many like job interview calls initially, but since last week I have started to get some recruiters are reaching out to me, and I see change in the market as well, that people are reaching out, recruiters are reaching out, companies are now started posting job market. So
Great.
looks positive to me now at the moment.
That's really good news. So obviously the last few months must have been a little bit more difficult than a normal job search. So I guess what have you been doing differently in order to mentally stay strong as well with your resilience in terms of getting through the job search? What have been the key factors for you in that sense?
So when the lockdown first happened at the end of the March, I was supposed to work in Formula One event, but on the same just a day before it was cancelled. So I would say like I
Mm,
worked in Australian Open, and after that Cricket World Cup as well, Women's T20 Cricket World Cup. So that was my last event. So I was
mm,
happy that okay, things are going. The year has started good for me. But what happened when the lockdown happened? I initially, to be honest, kind of was not serious because there was also high uncertainty. I didn't knew what will happen, but I think with the community I have and Vinesh Belan, whose platform we are talking about, I knew him. So I was active on LinkedIn. I started helping and posting post on LinkedIn. So my first post was because when my work started to reduce, I posted first that I wanted to reach out to the sports tech community. Happy to do 1 or 2 days of
Great.
volunteer work in analytics. That was my start. And then I started progressing with my positive vibes. Okay, what else I can do? And then I stuck across this JLB community in which I realized, okay, job search is also like a full-time job.
Mm,
And then why don't I do new things and push myself out of a comfort zone? So we'll do daily stand-up calls with the community members. We'll talk to each other. How many meetups we did? How many virtual coffee catch-ups we did? How what we have learned today in resume making. And then after that, because my interest was also in sports, I started attending webinars in sports from. So the pandemic also helped in getting the world smaller. Like I attended
mm.
work from Catapult, and then recently I also joined sports grad community, which the core people are from sports graduate, current students or professionals from sports, and they catch up with each other, help each other in a community. So this is all I am doing.
Great.
And all Yeah. And just a quick one, I also presented my first two webinars in my life. First one was on AFL to the multicultural community, and the second was also mindfulness on meditation. So I did a meditation session
Great.
on the webinar. That was, I think, yeah, my journey.
Fantastic. So if anything, through the pandemic and everything that's gone on, it's actually helped you push yourself out of your comfort zone and learn some new skills along the way, which is really important. And I'm guessing doing things like the webinars is going to help you in the long run in terms of your stakeholder engagement and working with clients as well. So that's really great that you've been very active. In terms of just a few questions, just to wrap it up, because I'm conscious of our time. Obviously, in terms of a job search, there's a few specific questions that are important as well. It sounds like you'd be immediately available to start a new role. Is that the case?
Yes, I can start immediately. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And what would your work rights be here in Australia? Your
Yeah.
visa status?
So currently I'm on visa 485, which is commonly known as TR, and
Yeah,
I have full work rights.
fantastic. And what does that mean then in terms of a company hiring you at some point in the next year or two? You'll be applying for your permanent residency, I'm guessing.
I have already applied for
Great,
permanent residency in the month of July, and it is in the process of
fantastic.
getting the outcome. Yeah.
And from what I understand with the temporary residency visa, it's a case of having 1 year's experience in your chosen field within 2 years of graduating, and then PR is not so much guaranteed, but pretty much guaranteed. Is that the case?
Yeah, that is also there. Yes.
Okay, fantastic news. Okay, great. Well, look, in terms of that overview there, Ankit, that was great. It was really good to see some specifics as well of how you've actually helped a business and how you've helped your clients. That's probably everything that I wanted to go through today. Again, conscious of time. Was there anything else that you wanted to add yourself before we wrap it up?
Oh, I just wanted to thank you again for coming because Amardeep had like recommended that you are one of the recruiters in the data domain. So I wanted to utilize this platform, uh, do a live session with someone who is in the data platform, showcase my skills. So I just wanted to thank you, and yeah, over to Vinesh.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks as well, Ankit.
Brilliant, Joel and Ankit. I absolutely love that conversation. I'm no data analyst and I don't know what's happening in the data world, but the way you explained it, Ankit, that was brilliant. The dashboards, the colors, especially, when you see red, something is wrong. When you see green, everything is good. So all of that absolutely related to a person who is not much into data. So your passion is what drives you, Ankit, whether it be sports or data analyst. And we saw that on plays. And thanks, Joel, for those insightful questions, which kind of triggered Ankit. So we've had about right now we have 14 people watching us on LinkedIn. We've had about more than 30 people at one point of time. So I'm hoping a lot of people have watched this. If you're a data analyst, or if you're hiring data analysts, or if you have any inputs at all for data analysts, please reach out to Ankit. He is good at mentoring as well as in his work. So if there are any roles out there coming up soon, please reach out to him. But otherwise, it was a pleasure watching this episode and hosting both of you guys, Joel and Ankit. Is there anything else you guys would like to share?
I'll just quickly go and just say thanks very much for having me on. And I've known Ankit for a few months now over the pandemic, and I think what stood out with him, and I guess a good bit of advice for any other job seekers, is his general positivity throughout the whole process. Obviously, looking for a job isn't easy, especially if you're not in one, and it can quite easily your mindset can change to negative and think the world's against you. So just seeing him out there, what he's done on LinkedIn within this community, I think it's definitely kudos to him, and something that other people who are looking for jobs should take his advice as to how he's gone about it. So yeah, very impressed with him.
Excellent. Thanks, Joel. Ankit, anything you'd like to add?
Oh, thank you so much, Joel, for your kind words, and saying those words for me as well. And also, like Joel is a different kind of person. Like I'll always whenever I have a query, can you look at my application, or can you give me some advice? Joel was one of the recruiter who always reply to your email and messages. And also he precision sourcing. They do a sports data hackathon every year. So that was something I came to know this year as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Joel, for doing all
this
work.
Excellent.
And thanks to you as well, Vinesh. Also,
no worries at all. It's so refreshing to hear that we have a recruiter who replies to all emails and messages, which unfortunately is not the popular thing that's happening there. So kudos on you, Joel, for doing that. And Ankit, you are an inspiration. I've seen your transformation in the last 3-4 months, and it's been inspiring for us, the community, and now the wider audience can see that as well. So thank you, all of you, for watching us. If you have any questions for us, please leave a comment. The more comments and the more noise you make, the more people see this. So we want to highlight Ankit and put him on the stage, and get him his dream job as soon as possible. So thank you. Thanks, Joel, Ankit, once again, and I'll hopefully see you for another episode soon.
Fantastic.
Bye-bye.
See you. Cheers, guys.